Hello, welcome to the Arizona Educational Foundation's Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. It's education's biggest night. Join us as we celebrate 10 outstanding educators from schools all across Arizona. One of them will go on to become the next Arizona Teacher of the Year. Who will it be? Stay tuned as we bring you the 2021 AEF Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards.
Everyone's story includes a teacher. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, just about all of us can name a teacher who inspired us or motivated us in some way.
My favorite teacher was my third grade teacher, Mrs. Shulman. She always made me feel empowered. She made me feel special, and I wanted to emulate the very essence of Miss Shulman. She's the reason I became a teacher, because I wanted to have the same kind of impact on students.
I loved Mrs. Gonzalez. I had her for second grade, and I remember the moment that she walked over to my desk and leaned down to whisper that I should stop apologizing for speaking up in class and realize that I was the leader. I was in second grade. I chose to teach because of her.
I had so many great teachers. Picking my favorite is hard, but I'd have to say it was my high school English teacher, Miss Atkinson, at Fremont High School in Plain City, Utah. She had this way of telling the most captivating stories. And when I was thinking about my career choices, I wanted to work in a field that truly made a difference. Becoming a teacher is the best way to do that, and I'm honored to be a part of this profession.
Hands down, my favorite teacher was Mr. Mahalik. His love for geometry and algebra was so inspiring. He opened up the world for me and gave me a sense of wonder. It's because of Mr. Mahalik that I became a teacher.
I'm a teacher because of Mr. Marito at Crown Point Elementary in Crown Point, New Mexico. I attended a reservation school, and Mr. Marito showed me how important it is for teachers to not only teach, but to nurture and love their students.
Ms. Merrigan of New Providence, New Jersey was one of the greatest role models I had. Seeing her love for special education really opened my eyes to the differences teachers make, especially for at-risk students. I've been a teacher for 23 years and remain a teacher because of Ms. Merrigan. Everyone's story includes a teacher.
Everyone's story includes a teacher.
Everyone's story.
Everyone's story.
Everyone's story.
Everyone's story includes a teacher.
Hello, and welcome to the Arizona Educational Foundation's Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union. I'm Javier Soto with Good Morning Arizona, anchor and reporter with Arizona's Family, and I have the distinct pleasure of hosting this year's celebration. 10 outstanding educators from all across the state here in Arizona will be recognized tonight, all with different stories of resilience and dedication to share. And I'm sure all of us can name a favorite teacher, a few favorite teachers who inspired us to help us realize our full potential. For me, I know if you're familiar with me, it's hard to believe, but I was kind of a knucklehead child. But there was a fourth grade teacher who decided to take an interest in me and really change the way I viewed education. It was as simple as making me the chalkboard monitor, which helped me focus on school as opposed to being the class clown. And then later on, a college professor asked me something I had never heard before, asked me, "Do you realize how smart you are?" Nobody had ever asked me that, and it made me realize maybe I got a little something up there after all. So we know that there are many teachers out there who go above and beyond, teachers always doing amazing things, and it's because of teachers that the Arizona Educational Foundation is pleased to have Desert Financial Credit Union as the presenting sponsor of the 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. Did you know that Desert Financial was actually founded by teachers? Here's a little bit of their history.
Hello, I'm Jeff Mishi, President and CEO of Desert Financial Credit Union. We are pleased to be the presenting sponsor of the 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. It's my honor to speak to you tonight as we celebrate this noble profession. Henry Brooke Adams said, "A teacher affects eternity. He or she can never tell where their influence stops." Everyone's story includes their favorite teacher. Mine was Mrs. Steele at Paradise Elementary School because she inspired me to love math. I know each of you has a similar story. Now I'm standing here today because of the determination and dedication of teachers who wanted to start a financial institution that would not only meet the needs of teachers, but also support the community at large. Those 15 proud teachers didn't have much, but together they made their money stand for something more. I'm proud of the way Desert Financial has built upon the dreams of those forward-thinking founders. Let me give you a few examples. During our 80th anniversary year in 2019, we gave back over $2.3 million to our community, and our team volunteered more than 7,800 hours to help people all across Arizona. Over the years, we've found many ways to support teachers and education in their honor. There is no better investment as education makes an impact for generations to come. We know educated citizens build thriving communities. Just to highlight a few examples, Desert Financial has a teacher appreciation program. We hold school supply and book drives, award college scholarships every year to both youth and adult learners, and conduct free financial literacy classes and webinars. Also, we've been a longtime supporter of the Phoenix Children's Hospital's One Darn Cool School program. This program features certified master's level teachers helping patients keep up with their schoolwork. The on-site school and bedside learning can help critically ill children maintain a sense of normalcy while coping with long hospital stays. Our employees also take opportunities to give another precious resource to education by volunteering their time for programs like Future for Kids to help with after-school mentoring. This unwavering commitment to education is one of the most important ways we make good on our mission to share success. Today, 81 years after our founding, we have 47 branch offices across the valley, and we're growing by the day with our newly minted statewide charter. I'm pleased to announce that Desert Financial will be moving into new markets very soon. We hope you will become part of our family, and we look forward to serving a community near you. Thank you for the ways you invest in the future and the countless ways you have adapted to meet the challenges of this past year. We wish you all the very best tonight, and I can't wait to learn who will win the crown and be Arizona's next Teacher of the Year.
Wow, Jeff, what exciting news to think that we will soon have Desert Financial throughout the entire state. Desert Financial really is one of those organizations that truly gives back and makes each community they reside in a better place. So thank you for all you do and all your employees do, and thank you especially for being the presenting sponsor of the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. Tonight, we're going to hear from so many special guests who wish to recognize the 10 educators being celebrated tonight and pay homage to all the educators who serve as inspirations for their students. Our first message is from an educator in her own right, Superintendent of Public Instruction, Kathy Hoffman.
Hello, and thank you to the Arizona Education Foundation for hosting our Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards and this amazing virtual celebration. While this year has presented incredible challenges for our educators, students, and families, educators, like our ambassadors for excellence, have persevered and provided students and families alike with guidance, compassion, patience, and care as they've navigated this year together. During this difficult time, we have all had to lean on the lessons we've learned from our other ambassadors for excellence in our lives. And while these mentors can be found in many areas, for many of us, they came from our own classroom experiences. An educator who invested in us, who cared about our academic and personal success, and who made a lasting impact on our lives. My own ambassador for excellence was my high school physics teacher, Ms. Robertson. I had her for 9th grade physics, and I loved it so much that I took a second year of high school physics and went on to pursue chemistry, biology, and just fell in love with the sciences. But that was truly inspired by Miss Robertson. When I went on after college to get my master's degree, I did not shy away from a master's of science to become a speech-language pathologist. I truly attribute my confidence in the sciences to Miss Robertson, and she continues to be an inspiration to me today to make sure that we are recruiting and retaining our STEM educators across the state. And despite the challenges of teaching and learning during COVID, our educators continue to make a difference. The connections that all educators make with students and families during a time when we are experiencing unimaginable stressors, and these connections are invaluable. Beyond academics, those critical student-teacher connections are what makes an ambassador of excellence. This year's Ambassadors of Excellence, Sarah Mora, Esteban Carrion, Hillary Stacy, Jillian Hernandez, and Sara Wyffels are no different. Thank you all for sharing your expertise and passion with Arizona students. We are grateful that you continue to call Arizona's classrooms home. Thank you again.
Thank you, Superintendent Hoffman, for all the work you do to support Arizona educators. For more than 37 years, the Arizona Educational Foundation has coordinated the Teacher of the Year program along with several other programs that support educators, students, and public schools. Programs like the A+ School of Excellence Award, which celebrates outstanding public schools throughout our state. The Arizona Spelling Bee, where one lucky Arizona student goes on to compete in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. The Principals Leadership Academy of Arizona that trains first-year principals and aspiring school leaders. Now take your legislator to school, which allows our state legislators to spend a day walking in the shoes of a teacher. And AEF's newest initiative, Teach STEM, which is inspiring our next generation of STEM teachers. Here to tell us more is AEF board member and chair of the 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year Committee, Christy Warner-Beyer.
Welcome to the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. We're so grateful to Desert Financial for sponsoring tonight's event, and to all of our sponsors that help AEF honor the great work our teachers do every year in Arizona. 37 years ago, my mother, Carolyn Werner, founded AEF with the help of Eddie Basha and Bill Shover. She wanted a nonprofit that would shine a spotlight on the wonderful work of public schools and elevate the teachers that make it all possible. My mom believed that public education was the great equalizer, and this could not be truer than today. AEF is making sure that our schools are reaching their potential so we can provide this opportunity to all our children. We unfortunately lost my mom in 2018, but her legacy lives on through AEF. My family and my mom's friends established the Carolyn Werner Legacy Award in honor of her to recognize other champions of public education. This award, given annually in her name, celebrates a former AEF Teacher of the Year, finalist or semifinalist, who has continued to make a difference long after their year of recognition has ended. This year, on behalf of my family, we are pleased to present the award to Dr. Beth Maloney. Beth is a national board certified teacher of 15 years who was named Arizona Teacher of the Year in 2014. At that time, she was teaching 5th grade at Sunset Hills Elementary in the Dysart Unified School District, and she's been blazing trails ever since. She's a fierce advocate for public school funding. She believes every child deserves access to the arts as part of their education, and she has served on several state and national committees and task forces to address issues in public education. She spearheaded the formation of the Arizona chapter of the National Network of State Teacher of the Year, and most recently was named Director of Arts Education for Act One. I'm pleased to present this year's Carolyn Werner Legacy Award to Dr. Beth Maloney. Congratulations, Beth, and thank you for all your work over the years making our community and our schools a better place.
Thank you, Christy. This means so much to me because of what Carolyn meant to me. She was my role model as a woman, as a mother, as a friend, and as a fierce advocate for the students and teachers of Arizona. I'd like to thank Carolyn's wonderful family for continuing her legacy and spirit and honoring me with this in her name. Whatever wisdom I have gained since I gave my goodbye speech, where I compared myself to Bilbo Baggins coming home from his unexpected journey, it comes down to three things. First, say yes to every opportunity, even those that scare you, especially those that scare you. You will regret nothing. Second, it's the people around you who make the journey worth it. Thank you so much to my people, Kim and everyone at AEF, my fellow Teachers of the Year and Ambassadors for Excellence, and my family. And most especially, thank you to the students and educators I've had the privilege to work with over the past 20 years. Finally, be an agent for change. Carolyn Werner is known as a champion for public education. She embodied what it means to be a change maker. She also recognized how public schools are the nexus of their communities, providing not just instruction to students, but food, shelter, safety, medical care, and emotional support. Public schools have become all things to all students, and that system cannot sustain itself without champions like Carolyn. Be that change. Stand up and fight for public schools. Use your voice and your vote to ensure schools are fully funded. Fight for our Arizona students to receive a well-rounded education, brimming with numerous opportunities and possibilities. They deserve nothing less. Finally, there are no words to properly thank teachers today. So I'm going to borrow the words of Henry David Thoreau. To affect the quality of the day, that is the highest of the arts. Teaching is affecting the quality of the day, of this day. You are the highest of the arts.
Congratulations, Beth, on that well-deserved honor. The path to becoming an Arizona Teacher of the Year starts with the nomination. Each year, AEF receives hundreds of nominations for amazing teachers throughout the state. Teachers might be nominated by a principal, a superintendent, other colleagues, a parent, or even a student. Once nominated, teachers then submit a written application, which is reviewed by an independent panel. That panel has a very difficult task of narrowing it down to just 10 teachers. Those 10 then go on to participate in a final review process that includes an in-person interview, lesson demonstration, and an impromptu speech. From that, the panel decides which 5 will become finalists of Teacher of the Year, which 5 will remain semifinalists. Now, the 5 finalists are named Ambassadors for Excellence and will go on to make public appearances and give more than 100 speeches during their year. One of those ambassadors will be named the Arizona Teacher of the Year and become our state's candidate for National Teacher of the Year. While all 10 teachers will receive cash awards and will be recognized throughout the year at various events, the winning teacher was given an amazing opportunity or opportunities to attend International Space Camp, go to the White House, and even train at Google. Most importantly, they become an advocate for education in our state, elevating the voices of teachers and their students. Programs like Arizona Teacher of the Year wouldn't be possible without donors just like you. So if you'd like to help AEF, there are multiple ways to give. All you got to do is pick up your phone. You could donate by your phone. It's as simple as texting 91999. Let me repeat that, 91999. All you have to do is type in 2021 Teach, or you can visit www.azedfoundation.org/donate. Another way you can give is by checking out the exciting online auction we currently have going on. Here to tell us more about what that is all about is Matthew Feller. He's the Director of Programs for AEF. So Matt, what's currently up for bid?
Thanks, Javier. I'll tell you guys what, our silent auction is going fantastic right now. We're coming up on almost $4,000 raised. If you haven't stopped in to take a look yet, you absolutely need to, and you can get to the silent auction by clicking on that button that's just right below this video box. Now, once you get in there, I want you to take a look at a couple things. The first of which is going to be the Arizona Spelling Bee. Now, you might have heard Javier mention it just a moment ago, but the Arizona Educational Foundation, we are the sponsor of the Arizona State Spelling Bee. And as the sponsor, we send our Arizona State Spelling Bee champion to the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. Now, I know we have hundreds of people watching tonight, and I'd like to ask just 40 of you to stop in on this item and leave a donation of $100 to help us continue to support literacy in Arizona. Now, another thing, and let me tell you, this is really exciting. Some of the items here in the auction, we've got jewelry, we've got sports memorabilia, and I'll tell you, the jewelry right now is valued incredibly high. We've got some pretty fancy stuff out there, and we don't have a lot of bids yet. So this is prime opportunity, if you're looking for somewhere to put your money, to put it there. And I want to draw your attention here to a 14-karat gold pendant on a 16-inch 14-karat gold chain. Now, this thing is valued at $600, and the bid right now is $195. So this is absolutely where you want to stop and put a little bit of attention. So don't forget, bid as early as you can, bid as often as you can, and the auction closes at midnight.
Those sound like some incredible items, and I know AEF appreciates any amount you can give. So keep an eye on the countdown clock. Now here to congratulate this year's top 10 teachers is AEF Board President Brian Shulman.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to watch the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. It is my great honor to serve as president of the board of the Arizona Educational Foundation. I've been on the board for over 10 years and so proud of the work we do. Everyone's story includes a teacher. The very foundation of my own story starts with the amazing K-12 public school teachers I had growing up in Overland Park, Kansas. From Comanche Elementary School, to Milburn Junior High, to Shawnee Mission West High School. From Mrs. Kennedy, who taught me how to diagram a sentence, to Mr. Kiter, who taught us that we live in a global community long before the internet connected us all. AEF's mission is to support the public school teachers in Arizona. It is not hyperbole to suggest that they need our support now more than ever. We do this through business and community partnerships and through a variety of programs for teachers, administrators, and students. As a nonprofit, AEF relies on the generosity of donors and grants to help carry out our mission. As Matt mentioned, in the corner of your screen, you'll periodically see a countdown clock for our online auction. We're very grateful for the many businesses and individuals throughout Arizona who donated items. In addition to those, we also have opportunities to donate towards sending a student to the Scripps National Spelling Bee or sending a Teacher of the Year to International Space Camp. The auction ends tonight at midnight, so I invite you to head to AEF's website to check out the items available. 100% of all proceeds raised through the auction will be invested directly back into programs supporting public schools. As a nonprofit, we're especially thankful for the many wonderful partners who invest in AEF's work. A special thank you to Latest Craze Productions, who was all set to provide the production support for our originally scheduled ceremony and then helped us pivot the entire event to this online format. Finally, on behalf of the entire board and all the public schools across Arizona, a sincere and appreciative shout out to our Executive Director, Kim Graham, and Director of Programs, Matthew Feller. Our team of two has shown remarkable resilience and creativity through these uncertain times, and we are most grateful to have them captain this ship. We're now pleased to share with you messages from some very special friends of AEF.
Everyone's story includes a teacher. I think the teacher that had the biggest impact on me was my Western civilization teacher, John Ryan. He taught us the importance about knowing about our past and also being actively engaged in our communities in the present. My name is Renee Levine. I work at Intel, and I also have the pleasure of serving on the Arizona Educational Foundation Board of Directors. This year, Intel is celebrating 40 years in Arizona, and we're also a proud sponsor of the Arizona Teacher of the Year. I would like to congratulate all of the top 10 finalists. We know that you put your heart and soul into what you do each and every day. Thank you and congratulations.
First, thank you all for being teachers, and a shout out to the Chandler Unified School District where my kids went. I want to share a story about Mrs. Cressman. She was my first grade teacher at Forest Hills Elementary School in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. We had just moved there from the United States, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and Mrs. Cressman was my first real teacher because I didn't go to kindergarten. And she had such an impression on me, and it wasn't just making sure that I felt part of that class and working to integrate me into the school community, but it was the care she had after I left her class. And what I remember was Mrs. Cressman following up as I went through elementary school, and then even when we'd see each other, my parents would connect and I was out of school, she was asking about me. And that really affected me. I always wanted to do good things for Mrs. Cressman. And so to think of that's 50 years ago, and that still leaves an impression. So what's important is that what you do with our kids can have that 50+ year impression on them. It's so important. We so appreciate what you do. So on behalf of APS, thank you for being teachers.
My name is Joe Thomas. I'm a social studies teacher for Mesa and currently serve as president of the Arizona Education Association. I began teaching in 1996. Ken was the veteran who took me under his wing. He was a great teacher not only because he knew his craft, but because his students knew he cared about them and knew he was fully invested in them graduating. Ken was equally supportive of his colleagues. He would listen, an incredibly important skill, and offer his experience or wisdom, but most of all, his encouragement. Remember, your first year teaching is difficult as you constantly second-guess yourself as you strive to be the perfect teacher. Ken helped me focus on what I was doing well and helped me be specific on what I wanted to improve. Ken cared about my career as a teacher, and I'm convinced I stayed a teacher because of his investment in me. I want to say congratulations today to those selected as a top 10 teacher, and especially to whomever among you is named the 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year. You have all proven your merit as great teachers. 5 of you will be elevated as ambassadors to travel across Arizona and tell the stories of your students and your schools to community leaders and members so they can better understand and appreciate what it is we do. But I also want to offer my sincere appreciation in advance because this year is different. More than ever, our colleagues need to hear from you. They need to hear you validate their long hours, their sacrifices, and hear you say that they are making a difference. They need to know that you, the best among us, care about their career as a teacher. I know you will not only do this, but you will do it exceptionally well, because you've made the cut. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm SRP's General Manager and CEO Mike Hummel, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to recognize the incredible educators across our state who make a difference every day. I know this firsthand, not only because of SRP's long-standing partnership with the Arizona Educational Foundation, but also because my wife Sherry spent her career as an educator. I saw her put in the long nights, make tough decisions, and address so many challenges that our teachers face in and out of the classroom. Thankfully, because of her passion and dedication, I also saw the undeniable impact that she and countless teachers just like her have on the lives of our children, their families, and our communities. That's why each of you deserves our gratitude for adapting and finding new ways to reach your students during these serious and challenging times. Thank you for your caring, compassion, and dedication. Thank you for making our communities better, and thank you for supporting and inspiring the next generation of Arizonans, many of whom will be our future leaders. Congratulations to this year's honorees and the Teacher of the Year for their outstanding commitment to education, both in their classrooms and in the communities that we all call home. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina Upaw from Bowie Mesa in Arizona, home to the world's greatest and most lethal attack helicopter, the AH-64 Apache. Knowledge and education is vital to the success of our society and to our future. Teachers provide the foundation for our future workforce. Today's students will become tomorrow's scientists, engineers, or even pilots. Teachers provide a platform for tomorrow's leaders to shape the world, to deliver innovative solutions and state-of-the-art technologies. The importance of teachers is immeasurable. Everyone has had a teacher who they have admired or aspired to emulate. My favorite and most inspirational teacher is none other than my daughter, Maddie Upaw. As a recent Arizona State grad and teacher, she's been faced with new challenges during these turbulent times. I'm truly inspired by her creative ways to engage and to encourage learning for her students, and to serve as a role model with constant perseverance and drive. Her dedication and commitment to educate youth and to shape bright young minds inspires me each and every day. On behalf of the Boeing Company, congratulations to all of this year's Teacher of the Year candidates. Thank you for your spirit and your tenacity during these challenging times. We truly appreciate all that you do.
My sixth grade elementary school teacher was Mr. Byers. He was a soldier in World War II or the Korean War, I'm not sure which, but he came home a gentle teacher of 11 and 12-year-olds preparing us for junior high. He used to play basketball with us during recess, teach us good sportsmanship. He was really the reason that I loved history, and he taught us to be good citizens. Good example was he made me the captain of the crossing guard, and I got caught leading a water fight in the bathroom. And as he helped me clean up, he taught me the importance of being a good citizen and a good leader, and that always stuck with me. So I'd like to thank all of you for the lifetime influences you are having on your students. And on behalf of Voya, congratulate you for being the top teachers in Arizona in 2020 and wish you all good luck.
Hasn't it been great hearing the stories of everyone's favorite teachers? A huge thank you to the donors and sponsors who give to AEF and invest in the work they are doing. Now keep watching that clock, because each time it appears, you'll have less time to submit a bid. This is a great way to support excellent programs like the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. As we reflect tonight about our favorite teachers, let's learn more about the 5 teachers who are being honored tonight. Each year, AEF celebrates 10 outstanding teachers. 5 of those teachers are ultimately named semifinalists. Now, as semifinalists, they are no longer in the running for the Teacher of the Year award. but they are celebrated as part of the top 10 teachers of that year, recognized for their dedication. Are you ready to meet this year's semifinalists? Well, come on, let's go. Jeffrey Mann, who teaches world history at Flowing Wells High School in the Flowing Wells Unified School District. Charisse Nunez, an elementary education teacher at Falcon Hill Elementary in the Mesa Public School District. Nicole Powell, an elementary education teacher at Las Sendas Elementary, also in the Mesa Public School District. Shaylin Savage, a special education teacher at Sunset Ridge Elementary School in the Pendergast Elementary School District. And Elizabeth Shaw, a social studies teacher at Rincon Vista Middle School in the Vail Unified School District. Wow, what incredible teachers. And it's also very clear to see how difficult the decision it was for that selection committee. So congratulations to these amazing 5 educators, and thank you for your devotion to your students. The 10 teachers being honored tonight received some pretty amazing prizes. So here to tell us more about that is retired Executive Director of AEF, Bobby O'Boyle.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. Before retiring from AEF, I had the honor of serving as Executive Director for 18 years. During that time, I worked with decades of Arizona Teacher of the Year honorees. I also witnessed over 1,000 public schools receive the A+ School of Excellence Award, saw hundreds of students compete in the Arizona State Spelling Bee Finals, and watched over 200 emerging school leaders graduate AEF's Principals Leadership Academy of Arizona. The impact AEF has and continues to make is profound, and that work is made possible through many wonderful partners. The 10 teachers honored at the awards ceremony each year are provided with a prize package made possible through the generosity of the businesses and organizations you'll see highlighted in this broadcast. The Arizona Teacher of the Year receives $15,000 in paid travel to National Teacher of the Year events, including International Space Camp, a White House visit, and a trip to Google, where they represent Arizona as a State Teacher of the Year. Ambassadors receive $5,000 cash, and semifinalists receive $1,000 each. All 10 teachers are given a 1-year membership to Treasures for Teachers, an amazing retail center providing discounted supplies for teachers, and a scholarship to attend NAU's Arizona K-12 Center's Teacher Leadership Institute. They also take part in a Fiesta Bowl weekend celebration, where they will ride the APS fire engine in the Fiesta Bowl parade and attend the Fiesta Bowl game, where they will be recognized on field during the game. This year, the top 10 will also be provided a virtual Intel experience with an exclusive behind-the-scenes field trip courtesy of Intel Arizona. The Teacher of the Year and 4 Ambassadors for Excellence will also receive professional media and storytelling training to help prepare them for the hundreds of presentations they will make during their year of recognition. Thank you to the many partners and individual donors who support AEF and make these gifts possible. And thanks especially to Desert Financial for sponsoring the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards. Because of all of you, AEF's work will continue impacting our communities for generations to come.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank all of you for investing in the amazing work of the Arizona Educational Foundation. And speaking of that, let's check in with Matt to see how this auction is going.
Thanks, Javier. Everybody, we did it. We've made it past $4,000, and the number continues to rise. Thank you so much for your support and giving to this auction. Again, I want to point out a couple items to you. The first one, right now, for $55, is this, we've got 2 different gift cards. Now, this is $200 worth of vegan food waiting for you. And right now, the bid is at only $55. So that's a huge deal. If you are vegan or you have a vegan in your life, and in fact, you don't even have to be a vegan, it turns out to eat vegan food. I think you're really going to like it, and you should definitely give it a shot. On top of that, we have a fantastic football signed by Herm Edwards and Marvin Lewis of the Arizona State University football team. Now, if you've got a Sun Devil in your life who enjoys Sun Devil athletics, this is absolutely where you should be putting some money right now. This ball is going to go quick. Thank you all so much for donating to the auction. Remember, if you haven't made it your way there yet, you're going to go ahead and click on that button right below the video board, and the auction does close at midnight.
That's very exciting, Matt. So don't delay. Head over to the auction now. Well, as you've heard tonight, AEF is proud to provide numerous programs that support 500,000 students, teachers, and administrators each year. That is just phenomenal, and here to talk more about that and the incredible impact is Kim Graham, Executive Director of AEF.
Thank you, Javier, and thank you for joining us tonight and supporting these amazing teachers. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the wonderful individuals who serve on the AEF Board of Directors. They are fully committed to helping AEF achieve its mission of supporting and celebrating public education. A huge thank you to them for their dedication. I also want to thank the Teacher of the Year Awards Planning Committee. When we realized the need to pivot to a virtual event, they sprung into action and helped make that transition happen. A very special thank you to Christy Warner-Beyer and Renee Levine, who went above and beyond in providing advice and resources. It's hard to believe a year has passed since we named the 10 teachers who were candidates for the 2020 Teacher of the Year Award. 5 months into their year, when the pandemic hit, they nicknamed themselves the Quarantine. Thanks to the generosity of our many wonderful partners, the Quarantine had some amazing experiences together. It's been wonderful to see how they've supported and encouraged each other this year, sharing challenges and successes, and really forging lifelong friendships. The 2020 Top 10 teachers have been wonderful representatives of the teaching profession, and we can't wait to see what they do next. While the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards recognizes 10 teachers per year from hundreds of nominations, it's really about honoring all teachers and celebrating their expertise and dedication. Teachers are one of our nation's greatest assets, and for many students, they're a lifeline, and sometimes the only person in a child's life who makes them feel loved. To all of the teachers watching tonight, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. AEF is honored to have hosted the Arizona Teacher of the Year Awards for the past 37 years. There's no other organization in Arizona that does the kind of work that we do. Our many programs are statewide in scope, serving thousands of students and educators each year. That work would not be possible without the generosity of businesses and individuals like you who donate. Any amount is appreciated. Your support keeps AEF going, and that means the world to us.
Thank you, Kim. AEF is such a worthy organization. It's so great to see all the individuals and businesses throughout Arizona who, like our presenting sponsor, Desert Financial, support education and value our teachers. And speaking of teachers, are you ready to meet the 5 ambassadors for excellence? Hold on. Before you do that, it's my pleasure to introduce you to the reigning 2020 Arizona Teacher of the Year, Lynette Stant. Lynette teaches 3rd grade at Salt River Elementary, which is part of Salt River Schools located in the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. Lynette is a member of the Navajo Nation and was raised in Tuba City, Arizona. It was my great pleasure to interview Lynette on 3TV the morning after she won the title last year. It's been remarkable to watch her journey this year. So ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 Arizona Teacher of the Year, Lynette Stant.
Hello. Ya'ateh. Has it already been a year? Time does fly when you are having fun, and my year has definitely met the fun definition. I am so honored to have had this Teacher of the Year experience. To encapsulate what the year has meant to me, words could not do justice. Thank you, Arizona Educational Foundation, for allowing me to walk this journey and becoming my Teacher of the Year family. The list of people who have supported me is full of many names, and each day more names are added. Thank you to my family for being with me, my mom, my husband, my daughter. Thank you to my school family, Dr. Clary, Dr. Guerrero, Mrs. Wilkinson, my colleagues, the Salt River Education School Board, and the Salt River Tribal Delegation. It is wonderful to be supported by such positive energy, all in the name of education. The end of a good thing is simply not an ending, but rather the beginning of another. Little did I know how much my life would change after walking off the stage at last year's event. My first task was appearing on Channel 3 TV. That appearance kicked off my year. For the next several months, I was doing keynote addresses, speeches, podcasts, making presentations, writing articles, blogs, serving on various education task force, and advocating for the field of education wherever I could. The list of events is long, but to name a few, the Fiestival Parade, being invited by Senator Alston for opening day of the state legislature, being the personal guest of Representative Sosi for Indian Nations Legislative Day, being honored by the Salt River Pima Maricopa Tribal Delegation and the Navajo Nation Tribal Council, going to Google for the National Teacher of the Year event, being the guest of Congressman Stanton at the President's State of the Union address. These past several months have been filled with new friends, new ideas, and new opportunities. I grew as a professional, but also extended my circle of family. The Arizona Education Foundation family, the Arizona Teacher of the Year delegation, and the 2020 Ambassadors of Excellence will forever live in my heart. And when I thought my circle could not get any larger, in walks the 2020 National Teacher of the Year cohort. Every single person in the groups I have mentioned have supported me, strengthened my teacher voice, and challenged me to do my best, and I will be forever grateful. My year was monumental. Not only was I the first Indigenous teacher to hold this platform, I was also the first to hold this position in the midst of a pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic threw me a curveball, but like any good softball player, I adjusted my stance, reevaluated my swing, and swung for the fence. Yes, events were canceled, both locally and nationally. Disappointing? Absolutely. However, like any good teacher, I adjusted my plan and moved forward. Advocacy moved to an online platform. As a Navajo woman, teaching in a Native American school, teaching Native American students, my goal was to use my voice to inspire Indigenous students and educators to reach beyond the barriers they face and be more than the narratives they are assigned. One of the ways I did this was through the creation of Indigenous Educators Unite. With the help of 2 doctoral students from the University of Arizona, Amanda Cheremiah and Felice Tagaban, we set forth to support Indigenous educators from K through college through the pandemic by providing a digital space for them to meet, discuss, collaborate, and plan. Established in March 2020, our IEU organization garnered almost 200 members at our first meeting. We have a bright future as IEU will be collaborating with AEF and other organizations to provide training and advocacy work for Indigenous education. I was also the first Arizona Teacher of the Year to receive a classroom makeover courtesy of Goodman's Interiors. Any teacher knows what a profound gift that is to not only have new furniture and a functional classroom space, but the pride it instills in the students to be able to learn in a beautiful environment. Being awarded the coveted Teacher of the Year title was more than just an award. As a Dene teacher, it opened doors to discussions that have historically not have the voice of Indigenous educators. It allowed me into places to provide a perspective through a cultural lens. What an honor it has been, and I will commit to using my voice to advocate for equity across all Indigenous nations and marginalized communities. My journey as Teacher of the Year will close, but for one lucky educator, their journey will just begin. My advice to them is to be prepared physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It will be an amazing year. Have fun and say yes to as many possible opportunities you can. All my best.
Thank you, Lynette. What an inspiration you have been, and we look forward to seeing the impact you continue to make here in the state. And now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the top 5 finalists, our ambassadors for excellence. One of these 5 will be named the 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year and go on to represent our state in the National Teacher of the Year competition.
Mr. Carry-On makes a difference by making time outside of academics for any student that needs advice or help on how to handle different situations.
Mr. Carolyn not only makes a difference for his students and administration, but he is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Because he's really passionate about his work. He tries his hardest to provide us with the knowledge to succeed.
Mr. Carolyn should not only be the Arizona Teacher of the Year, but he should be the Arizona Teacher of the Decade.
So how are you guys doing? I just need to do a quick thumb check on you guys. Up, up, up. All right. Nice. Okay, that's good. I'm glad.
For me, teaching is not something I do. It's who I am. It's what I believe in. So my student population is diverse. They come from all across the district. So they represent different ethnic groups, different gender identities, different places where they are on the emotional, social spectrum. The one aspect of their stories that keeps them all tied together and is consistent is that they struggle with developing personal social skills. And so we work with that in our class. And I want my students to understand that I care about them. I appreciate each and every one of them. I don't want to change who they are. I want them to know that their past has shaped them, but it will absolutely not define who they are. How does it feel when someone says, hey, Keon, you belong to the African American group? How does that make you feel?
I'm glad to be me.
You're glad to be you, exactly. You're glad to be you. I'm glad to be me. I'm proud of my Latino Hispanic heritage. Recognize and understand that these stereotypes exist. They're real. They're out there. You've heard them. I've heard them. Some of you may have even have said them. I'll be honest with you. I've shared some of these myself, and I'm not proud of that. But I am proud of my heritage and my culture and my ethnicity, and you should be proud of your race and your ethnicity as well. It's important for me to make my students understand that what I do for them and how I will help them goes beyond just being here in the classroom. And one of the best ways that I am able to impact those lives is through Unitown, our Unitown program, which is a 4-day camp where students go through very intensive training on issues and topics like dating violence and sexual assault and suicide prevention. These are difficult topics that they deal with on a regular basis, but I feel very strongly and very passionately about this program because what we do is not just change lives, we are literally saving lives of these students, and that's very important to me. It goes beyond just being in the classroom. I do this job, which I absolutely love because of and for my students. But if you're going to do this job right, it's hard. It means you're going to take a risk, and that can be heartbreaking, it can be painful, because you are going to be a part of every single one of their struggles. But you're also going to be a great influence on all of their successes. When you see a student walk across the stage at graduation with a big smile on their face, and you know that you were a part of their triumph, there is nothing more inspiring than that. Those are the moments that keep me going. All right, you guys. Bye-bye. See you guys. Take care.
I think Ms. Hernandez makes a difference by treating every student with respect and kindness.
And she makes students happy within themselves and creating an environment where students feel comfortable and confident.
She makes learning so fun, and she makes math for people who don't really like math
we kind of like it.
Ms. Hernandez makes a difference by encouraging students to excel at what they do.
And she is just basically one of the best teachers I've ever had.
Teaching for me is so much deeper than a profession. It's profoundly a part of who I am. It's a calling so deep that I feel like I couldn't possibly walk away from this space because it's so much a part of what I am. Teaching is social justice. It's about making a change in our world. It's about empowering students to act upon the knowledge that they bring together in their own learning. We talk about the relationships. You can do it with me. Yeah. The relationships, right? The connection between individuals and the government, and how that shapes a community structure and how it helps us solve problems. Whose role and responsibility is it to make change in a community?
You.
Yours.
Ours.
When you say yours, who do you mean?
Well, you
all
have
of ours.
to be anyone's, like everyone.
Our community is a unique space because we are a public bilingual school, which means that students who come here have the opportunity to choose from a Diné English learning track, a Spanish English learning track. We also have a multi-age track. So I am going to code switch right now and support all of the students in our classroom, okay? Génesis, lo que estamos haciendo ahorita es estamos pensando en sistemas que existe aquí en nuestra comunidad. My philosophy of teaching is really about voice, choice, and responsibility. And that voice and choice and responsibility should come from the students. They should drive what we're learning, how we're learning. I'm obviously here to facilitate that space, but I believe that students should inquire about knowledge, and that knowledge is not something that I give to anyone. It's what they construct, it's what they build. And I believe that all students have that capability to dream big, dig deep, and choose how to move forward in their educational career in ways that I'm honored to support. They're connected, they overlap. Why would I display it that way?
Well, because it's like a cycle together.
Okay, let's pause. I love your excitement and enthusiasm for this, but I want to be able to hear all voices in there. For me, it's important to acknowledge that being a finalist for Arizona Teacher of the Year is a continuation of my journey. I'm continuously engaging in new ways of recognizing my own bias, what I have to contribute to education. And so this journey has caused me and provided a space for me to reflect deeply on my own practice. And it has changed me for the better as an educator.
Mrs. Mora makes a difference for students by making us think.
She always makes us feel safe and comfortable in her classroom.
She makes all of her students feel special. She doesn't let any of her students fall behind.
She always helps her students with any help they need. If you texted her and asked her a question at 2 a.m., she would answer either way.
Miss Moore should be Arizona Teacher of the Year because she is kind, helpful, and makes learning fun. She is my favorite teacher.
My philosophy of teaching is learning by doing. I'm a strong proponent of giving students access to different opportunities to push them to find their passions. And I strongly believe that we live in a world where students can make a difference today. They don't have to wait until they grow up to make a difference. And so I do that by allowing them to do things in my class. Let's talk about this. How did it go? Do you feel like you got the most in your jars? What was your strategy, okay? Can I hear from team one over here? What did you guys do to get your stuff inside the jar?
So we crushed the styrofoam balls to make them smaller so we could fit more rocks and beads in it, so that's what we did.
You know what we call that, Caleb? Yeah, you're right. It wasn't technically allowed, but that's called a big brain moment, right? So we're gonna allow it this one time because I never said don't squish it. So, okay, so you squished it so that everything would fit inside. My school is the new K-8 school, and we serve a pretty diverse population. And I actually grew up and graduated from high school here. It's a small town where you feel like everyone knows each other, and it's just a great place to live and work. I choose to teach because I love to learn. I learn every day from my students, from my colleagues, and I just want to pass on that love of learning to my students. The best ways to keep students actively engaged while learning is by giving them choices. So in my class, I like to give them choices so that they are motivated to continue in the tasks that we're doing. If something is hard and they don't have buy-in, they're not going to want to push towards that learning. But if you give them the choice, then they'll be much more apt to work and do the things that you need them to do to learn. There we go. See, now it's nice and aligned. Now try. Go forth and make smoothies. I am proud to have been a public school educator for the past 11 years. I know there's a lot of room for improvement in schools, but I strongly believe that you can't change the system if you leave it. And so I stay motivated because I do see innovative change around me on the internet and social media. And so I have a strong belief that there is a way for us to work together for systemic change. My grandmother was actually a teacher in Puerto Rico. She taught first grade and English, and I'm really proud to have followed in her footsteps. And if my grandmother was here today and saw that I had accomplished this, it would be a very special moment for us. And it makes me really proud to be a teacher and to have followed in her footsteps.
Miss Stacy should be the Arizona Teacher of the Year because she is so hardworking, dedicated, and kind to her students.
Say Miss Stacy makes a difference in the lives of her students because she's diligently dedicated towards making sure said students are actively engaged in the content.
Every single class period that I'm in with her is well thought out, it's well done.
It's all about us, and it's always been about us. And that's, I think, what a true teacher is. And so that, I think, is what makes her stand out amongst so many.
Hi guys, hi fifth period. I see lots of you today and it makes me so happy.
I teach because I love humans. I learned very early on that I need a lot of social interaction every day. And the thing that I love about interacting with students in particular is I get so much love back from them because I give them so much love. They need that from me and I need that from them. And it is so much fun to get to know and love 170 different students every single year. We have students from all over the southern Arizona region. They could be on horse farms or they could live in the bedroom community here in Rita Ranch. What I really love about my students is because they're coming from so many different backgrounds, they bring so much to my classroom and we can really learn from each other. And since we're a small school, we can really provide that place for belonging that students might not have found before. The keys to getting every student to succeed academically is to really get them interested and excited about what we're doing. If they think it's cool and they think it's relevant, they're gonna eat it up. Humans are naturally curious and they want to know how things work. So if you can cause that curiosity, they are going to engage in what you're doing and usually submit most of the work also.
So it's kind of silvery, mostly just gray.
What's the texture of it? Because I know there's different types of steel walls.
So this one feels really coarse. It doesn't feel, oh no, I lit it on fire already. Okay, we're going. I touched it with a 9-volt battery. And I'm gonna back up because my hair is very flammable. Caitlin, more in answer to your question, it's pretty fine. Like the little hairs are pretty fine. They're not thick at all. It looks like wool, but it feels gross, would be how I would describe it. I stay teaching because it's honestly the most fun I've ever had in a job. I've worked in jobs since I was 11, everything from small minimum wage jobs up to being a scientist. And teaching is so variable and so much fun all of my hours a day that I get to spend with students that it makes all of the extra hours that aren't as fun totally worth it. I'm one of the few people that gets to laugh until I cry every single day, and because I'm a chemistry teacher, I get to light things on fire whenever I want and entertain young people with it. So it is just so much fun, keeps me coming back for more, building relationships with students, makes every year totally worth it.
I think Mrs. Wyffels should be the Arizona Teacher of the Year because of the genuine interest she shows for students as human beings and not just as like subjects in her classroom.
She creates an environment in her classroom that just allows students to really absorb the information as much as possible. She just constantly radiates happiness and joy.
An amazing person that really does care for her students' well-being.
And she is also a teacher that teaches with all of her heart, and I think that's what truly makes her Arizona Teacher of the Year.
My philosophy of teaching is that as an educator, I'm not the owner of all of the knowledge. I am not the owner of learning, but that I prefer to be into the curiosity with the students and to grow with them and to discover together that it's not just coming straight from me, but that collectively we're building knowledge and learning skills together.
Haiku, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's a type of Japanese poem, I think it is.
Muy bien.
Yeah, and it has a rule with syllables, but I can't remember what that rule is.
That's right, it does. Good.
The rule for the syllables is the first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the last line is also 5 syllables.
Muy bien. Amy y Alejandro, muchas gracias. Perfecto. Our community here at Chandler High School sort of represents all walks of life, from religion to race to socioeconomic status. I really feel like our world is represented here at our school, and that there's a certain culture and community associated with that feeling that brings us together, and that I would say we even celebrate. The thing I really love about this word is not only does it mean heritage, it also means inheritance. So that means that we get something from our ancestors. It's what we've inherited from our family and our ancestors, and we take it with us. What I'm really passionate about is the power that language has to connect one another. In this time in our world, it seems like the disconnect is larger, that the disconnect is building. And I really feel that learning a language can teach us how not only to articulate ourselves, but also how to really listen to other people. I choose to teach because I truly believe that we can do better in this world. And I believe that through teaching Spanish, I am indeed teaching the power of human connections with my students. And the relationship I've built with my students has given me the hope and the belief that they will make a positive impact in the world. Muchas gracias, and I'll talk to you later, okay? Adios. Gracias, chicos.
What an incredible group of educators. I know each of our 5 finalists are anxiously waiting the news, just as we all are, right? So you might be wondering, where are these 5 teachers right now? How will they learn the news? They are actually all gathered together right now at the studios of Latest Craze Productions, observing social distancing, of course, and on pins and needles waiting for the big reveal. So let's check in. Kim, how's it going?
It's going great, Javier. We're all here, ready and waiting.
Hello, Top 5. It is so great to see everyone. So I wish we could all celebrate in person together. And hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed, next year, that's going to be the case. So good luck to all of you. Now, we can't wait for the big reveal. Getting nervous, right? Before we learn who the next Arizona Teacher of the Year will be, we have some very special messages from people with their own teacher stories.
Hi, I'm Luis Gonzalez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'd like to thank the Arizona Education Foundation AZ Teacher of the Year Awards for allowing me to be a part of today's program. My mom was a teacher for 45 years. I've seen firsthand the commitment and sacrifice you teachers make for their students. Growing up, there were definitely some special teachers that have left a lasting impression on my life. Not only did they teach me the basic fundamentals, They also taught me many life skills that I still use today. Thank you to all the special men and women who have chosen to dedicate their lives to teaching our future generations with enthusiasm, patience, and passion. We truly appreciate what you teachers do.
Hi, I'm Alana Myers-Taylor, 3-time Olympic medalist in the sport of bobsled for Team USA. Growing up, my favorite teacher was my 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Easterwood. She really broke learning down and allowed it to be fun. She allowed us as 7th graders to explore our curiosities about various topics and really dive into them. I remember one time she let me make a project completely out of Legos just because I was able to fit it to the subject and it was something I was interested in. She really allowed her students to develop a lifelong passion for learning. As teachers, we greatly appreciate all that you've done. So I want to congratulate the top 10 finalists for Arizona Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, thank you, and we appreciate you.
So we all know teachers are super important. I was really lucky to have amazing teachers throughout my schooling career. My favourite teachers were Mr. Smith, my primary school teacher, and Miss Forrest, my PE teacher. So influential in my career as an athlete and developing me as a person. So I want to send out a massive congratulations to all 10 finalists for Arizona Teacher of the Year. Well done.
It's so inspiring to hear about everyone's favorite teachers. So we want to say a huge thank you to all of our Arizona educators for their tireless devotion and love that you show to your students each and every day. And now, can I get a drum roll? Drum roll, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for. Let's go back to Kim to discover who will be Arizona's next Teacher of the Year.
Thanks, Javier. The big moment has finally arrived. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Joining me on stage are the 5 teachers who are finalists for the Arizona Teacher of the Year Award. Under normal circumstances, all 10 teachers would be able to be with us today. But in order to observe social distancing, only our finalists were able to be with us tonight. We do want to thank Desert Financial again for serving as the presenting sponsor of the awards and say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors and donors who help AEF reach over 500,000 individuals each year. The 5 teacher videos you saw were produced by Kurt Bailey and Gary Angst, and I want to say a special thank you to them. They've been producing our Teacher of the Year videos for several years, and they always do an outstanding job telling these stories. We're also very excited to announce a new scholarship opportunity that will be provided through AEF courtesy of Grand Canyon University. Starting in November, AEF will begin taking recommendations from principals who wish to nominate a high school senior. And if that senior wants to become a teacher in the field of math or science, the senior chosen will receive a 4-year scholarship to GCU to study education and hopefully become a teacher and one day perhaps find themselves standing right here on this stage. More details to come on that. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. One of these 5 teachers will become the next Arizona Teacher of the Year. And the award goes to Sara Wyffels from Chandler High School. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I guess I'm going to use this. It's sitting in my pocket. Oh, thank you, AEF, my friends and my family for believing in me. Kathy Webke, you were in my ear for 3 years. Thank you for nominating me. In the end, my husband Ben helped to push me to finish my application, which is a job. So I did. And Liam and Jonah, my entire family, have been my fans through this. My mentor and dear friend, Ann Bender, wrote me a beautiful letter of recommendation, as did my former principal, Larry Rother. Thank you. To all my colleagues standing here, especially the World Language Department at Chandler High, the gift of your partnership fills my heart with joy. Most of all, my students, past and present, you have made me a more balanced human, and it is because of you that I have optimism in this world. Muchísimas gracias. I'm so grateful to the AEF, the Arizona Educational Foundation, for this honor.
Thank you, Sara. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. And there you have it. Congratulations to Sara Wyffels from Chandler High School in the Chandler Unified School District, our new 2021 Arizona Teacher of the Year. Thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Desert Financial Credit Union, and all of our sponsors and donors who make AEF's work possible. And thank you to each of you for joining us. We hope you will consider supporting the work of Arizona Educational Foundation. Until next year, thank you and good night.